Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of AEC Reacts, where we get first reactions on subjects related to the architecture, engineering, and construction industry. I'm your host, Alicia Washington, Marketing and Jedi Director of HRP Associates. And here with me today is Chris Abel. And today I'm joined by Lindsey Mathieu. And here with me today is Lance Washington, a local Surety Underwriter. Hi, Lance.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome here to HRP Studio. We're super excited to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Great. And so I have a question. Well, it's something I saw, but I want you to react to it because that's the show.
Sure.
There are many opportunities for MBEs in construction. How do you react to that?
Oh, absolutely. I think the fact that there are state by state, there is set aside work specifically for MBEs gives any MBE that can, show themselves as a top performer the ability to write their own ticket as far as picking up new work.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And so MBE, for anyone who doesn't know the acronym, it's Minority Business and Enterprises. So any minority-owned business here in the United States, there are specific goals that are met specifically on construction jobs. And in every state is different, but the goals are anywhere from 20 to 30% on a construction job. So I agree with that as well. I think that there are tons of opportunities there. And specifically, I've noticed too that there are a lot of MBE firms and other small businesses too. They're small. So, we want to do what we can to support them on the marketing side, just because that's a lot of the work that I do, and, helping them with writing proposals and things of that nature too. But there is a lot of opportunity for them on the construction side of things, and there's already a lot of minority-owned firms who are doing a lot of those types of services.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think people that sit in my seat, right? It's incumbent upon us to get out and try and be proactive in educating the MBE firms that are not aware of what the benefits of a bond are. Mm-hmm. And I've kind of been trying to take the lead on that in my area.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lance, and thank you for that. Here with me today is Chris Abel, Membership Director at CT ABC. Welcome, Chris.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
So I saw this article recently that said, this was the headline for the article: if you want a construction project finished on time without worker shortages, hire a unionized crew. Then this was a new report that they put out. How do you react to that?
Well, especially in Connecticut, but across the nation, where upwards of around 85% of contractors are actually merit contractors, mm-hmm. merit shop contractors. Mm-hmm. Everyone's dealing with the labor shortage. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter, unionized, merit shop, you're all dealing with the labor shortage. If you want to, the best way to get a job done, to get something done, is to open it up to people who can get the job done. Mm-hmm. Merit shop contractors are going through the safety training, they're going through the apprenticeship training, they're going through all of the training that is out there. No, the thing is, everyone should have, there shouldn't be a barrier to entry when it comes to getting work done when you have a skilled labor shortage like we do. And then you have an infrastructure bill coming down. The biggest thing behind that is who's going to do the work. You're going to need all hands on deck. Right. So that's kind of my opinion on it.
And I'm wondering too, like when they have, I noticed it just on the federal side, when we're bidding work, you have set aside work for, disabled, disadvantaged firms. But when cities, municipalities, or the federal government, when they're putting out work to bid on, everyone has, union workers also have the ability to bid on those jobs as well as any other merit companies, right? It's the same all across.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's never, when you start to factor in like project labor agreements, mm-hmm. project labor agreements put you in a spot where these merit shop contractors are not going to be bidding on those jobs.
Okay, that's kind of the tie-in, or that's the one difference there. If those agreements are in place, then the other companies don't have the ability to bid on that work.
And if they could, the affordability behind it, it's just not going. And that's a whole kind of other topic. When you have a small amount bidding and it's not open up to anybody, what's going to happen? The bids are generally going to go up. Mm-hmm. And if it's public work, which is what we're talking about, we're not talking about private work. When it's public work, that's going to typically drive the cost up.
Yep.
and that cost falls on the taxpayers.
Right.
Now, the issue there's multiple issues behind that, but a lot of times the taxpayers, they don't know that's even really happening or know the definition. They just know that they're paying taxes. Well, the cost could have came down if everyone was able to go into it.
Right.
And the other thing is, when you talk about, veteran-owned businesses, MBEs, WBEs, I mean, quite frankly, should they be on a situation where they can't put in work because they're not in that specific bucket? We're trying to be, diverse and let everybody in.
Yeah, inclusive.
Sometimes we're doing the exact opposite. But again, to go back to the idea of getting the job done on time, I was on a call yesterday where it was very evident that the two people working with municipalities and working in the healthcare field, they said, we are aware of who can get these jobs done. So they've kind of fallen in that line of, you're just as good as the last job that you've got done. Your reputation, regardless of if it's a union shop, a merit shop, if you can get the job done, it should be open, and then you let the people who are actually bringing in the workers decide who they want to bring in. You want to get a job done, whether it's construction or anything. If you have people capable of doing the job, you also have not enough people in the field to begin with. Let's work together and get these things done.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Chris.
Absolutely.
Thank
This
you.
has been a lot of fun.
Yes, awesome. And today I'm joined by Lindsey Mathieu, owner and principal of Golden Egg Concepts, a marketing communications consulting firm. Welcome, Lindsey.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thanks
Glad
for
to be
being here. Yeah. So I was scrolling LinkedIn this morning and I came across this headline that said 60% of architecture firms do not have a business plan. What's your reaction to that?
I'm not shocked. I actually would have guessed it might have even been a higher number. I feel like a lot of firms just get caught up in the throes of doing what they're in business to do and doing billable work and not taking time to work on the business, right? You're working on your deliverables, you're working on client service. You're not focused on the planning for your business. And I think our industry in general is very reactive at its core. It's RFP due, ad needed, social media posts, we're doing one a week, let's go. And I think a lot of times we don't put the strategic planning in place to drive some of those tactics. So I'm not surprised, and I think really it is very, very important that firms not fly by the seat of their pants. You can definitely experience some degree of success doing that. That's a model that has worked and frankly carried a lot of firms through their origins, but I think really to prepare for growth and expansion and to further penetrate markets that you're kind of dabbling in, it really does take a degree of planning. And it doesn't have to be a voluminous thing that sits on a shelf and collects dust, but some kind of roadmap, like here we are today, here's where we want to be in the future. How do we get from A to B?
Right. And I also think too that a lot of AEC firms in general were started from an architect, an engineer, a construction manager. They started their business as the work that they do.
That's
they
right.
built their clients off, they left the large company and was like, I'm going to do my own thing. And they didn't go to school for business. They don't have their masters. They didn't, they went to school for the technical expertise that they have. So
That's right.
putting together a business plan or a marketing plan is sometimes an afterthought, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have these clients, your revenue's coming in, you're managing it, you're cutting yourself a check, right? Every week that's probably really small as you build your business. So trying to think bigger strategically seems to come down way down the line. And that's for more firms that are growing and getting bigger. Some of these firms are just still very small and very comfortable where they are. So I wasn't surprised either when I saw it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of our industry, I hear it time and time again, 85% of our work is from repeat clients or expert. It's always a high percentage. It's a lot of word of mouth. You do a good job, you're going to keep getting work. You're going to keep that client happy. Or conversely, you don't do a good job and there's other firms lined up ready to take that client from you. So I think a lot of firms just, stay in their lane of doing what they're doing and getting paid to do. And, unless you're taking that time proactively to kind of focus on your business and carve away time to do strategic planning and business planning and marketing planning, it's going to be more of the same.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for that reaction, Lindsey.
You're very welcome.
Great. So what's your reaction to that? Drop it in the comments below and stay tuned for the next episode of AEC Reacts.